Hello, and welcome again to Opinions from Mary. In this Pearl, I'll be showing you how I laid my wood flooring in this room. This is the final version, and it took about 18 clips to actually show all the little tricks and nuances and hassles that I went through. I know you don't want to watch all 18 of them. I sure don't. So what I've done is I've actually clipped them to the specifics and what I believe is important, so that you get all the details as quick as possible. And so if you're wondering why it looks like I'm wearing different clothes on different days, that's the reason why. So have a great day, enjoy, I hope you learn a lot, and I hope this helps you. And I do like the way my floor turned out. I actually do enjoy this room. And I like this picture. I made it. So anyway, for what it's worth, have a great day. Blessings your way. Thank you. Bye. Good morning and welcome to Opinions from Mary. Today we are ready to do the layout. This is the most important step of laying the flooring in my new design room. So as you can see here, this is my sketch of the room. Let's get some good light on this. Actually, why don't we just turn the lights on? I'm going to be laying it out in this floor pattern here. Okay, so here's my room. Everything is ready to go. As you can see, we have a bare floor ready to go, except for the flooring and some underlayment for demonstration and some lights. Step one, mark out your room, which is what I did on this piece of paper here, to where I got every dimension, every inch. So 77.5. And then in the doorway area here, it forms, I'll come over here and show you the door. It forms this pattern. Watch out, Star. You can see the gaps in the door. Okay, so it's 30 inches from here. Star, get your face out of here. Oh, boy, I love dogs, but sometimes they just drive me nuts. From here to the other end. And so when it comes time to all of these cuts for laying out will be on a chop saw. But this right here, I'm going to have to use my table saw or do it by hand. Table saw is easier because when we come in behind here, this is also going to be a table saw cut. And sure, it's not going to lay out just perfect because I've already done the measurements. So that's the first thing, is measure out your room, then take the width of your planks, and this right here is 3 1/4. So as you can see, I have marked 3 1/4. And then, okay, so time to get going. All right, vacuum, lay out the vapor barrier, put up my blocking for expansion, and start laying board. Installation for handicapped people. Which many years ago, I read Think and Grow Rich. Wonderful book, changed my life. Which pretty much says nobody's handicapped unless you're handicapped mentally. So, being able to do this, I am very happy that I might take some weird tricks on my end. Okay, so the tape is going to run on this. Okay, that makes sense. So that's how that would go. And then lay flat on that so that the tape goes on the plastic. Okay, got it. Alrighty, makes sense there. So let's see what we got. Everyone needs to know when they're doing a floor. It's a trick, and thank you, Daniel, for showing it to me years ago, because it's pretty easy, but if you don't know how to do it, you probably don't want to attempt your floors. Anyway, they won't come out that well. What it is when you're either starting a project, a lot of times the walls aren't uniform. And so when you're finishing a project, you have the same thing. Like I could tell by looking at it, it's not off that much. But here, we're about 2 1/2 inches. Down here, we're 2 and almost 3/4 inches. So the wall is doing one of those. Anyway, here's the trick. When you're first starting out, just lay your boards up against the wall. I call it a protractor, but according to the description, it says it is a locking wing divider. And very simply, it takes the pencil, you put it inside, and all we're going to do is follow the contour, and this is for starting, the contour of the wall on your piece of wood that you want to start. Now, originally, you've already done your measurements, so you know that you're not going to end up with a little sliver because you figured out your layout. So anyway, if you're starting out, quite simply, all you do is just take this device, expand it out however much you want, and you just follow the wall. Let's see if we can do it on this one. Okay, so just following the wall, it's going to give us our mark. And then we could take that to our table saw and cut the area. So when we put that board down. Okay, so we got down to about 2 boxes, and that's what we have here. So just to recap, what I'm doing is cutting the wood on my chop saw. Oh, this one isn't cut. Okay. Good morning, and welcome back to Opinions from Mary. This morning I came to look at my floor, and I noticed a bunch of defects in a lot of these pieces. I don't know if this camera will pick it up, but there's like some wavy lines. Might not be able to see it. I can see it with my eye. So I've tagged all of them. I'm going to pull them all out and open up another box and put some good ones in and proceed from there and put these bad ones probably in the closet. Anyway, yeah, now I know why someone threw out that wood, because there's defects with it. But, you know, for the price, I still think it's a gorgeous looking floor. And, okay, so just another tip, I guess scrutinize the pieces that you're putting down when you're putting them down. And if you're happy with them, great. And if not, well, okay, figure it out from there. Okay, have a great day. See you soon. I'm looking forward to getting this done. Bye. Defective flooring. Well, now that I replaced a bunch, I noticed a bunch more. I don't think they're showing up at all. But right in here, you see that little ripple? Anyway, it's worse now than when I saw it before, or I didn't see it before. So I'm just going to keep going, and I guess that's what they make throw rugs for. Either way, it's still an improvement over cement, and considering the price was free, I'm going to be happy with what I got. So, okay, talk to you soon. Have a great day. Okay, so before I do the table saw cuts, I want to make sure that the cut that I have with my chop saw is the right size. And because if it doesn't drop in nicely, it won't work. So, okay, I'm at my table saw getting ready to line this up. And I'll just talk while I'm doing this. So, hopefully you can see what's happening. All right. When you're using power tools, they recommend you don't wear gloves, and I recommend that too, but these are special, like, I could pick up a dime with these, so I don't have the bulk, and the only thing is I get splinters all the time. I don't like that. So the way this works, we got my little wood markings here. Hopefully you can see those. Okay, so on this one, the longest one, because we're going to work our way over, I'm going to line this up to where the guide is right on the money. So basically I just put the line up to where the saw blade is and then turn on the guide. Oh, it looks like that moved a little. So we don't want that. Okay, now let's see. It's still moving a little. Stay in place. Oh, close enough. Hopefully it won't be too tight. Yeah, I want a little bit of looseness there. So let's come there. Now I'll put the guide on. Okay, good. I like where that is. This is a safety shield. So it's going to get noisy. I apologize. You might want to turn the volume off. I always prefer to wear safety glasses, which are the glasses that I have on just to shield my eyes. All right, here comes the noise. Okay, so all I did was cut that. Now I'm going to cut this section. So again, move the guide. I guess you don't have to, but personally it's easier for me not to pay attention and let the guide do the work. It's right there. So move this over to where the guide is. A little bit, come on. I'm binding on something. Maybe a little bit of a gap. Here we go. Watch your ears. Now, if you could see from this side, well, let's see, get a good view here. The cuts don't go straight through. So, but this is where we want it to end, up here, where the little guy is, not where this guy is. So I have to use my eyes and see where I'm at. So it turns out right on this line is where the top one is. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the guide to follow that little line, do the top piece, then come in and cut the back part for the bottom piece. And I got to make some room here. There we go. Well, that's unfortunate, but considering, I'm just going to take a touch-up marker and fix it because it's behind the door, and see if it does it on the next one. Okay, so I'm looking at where the blade should stop on this, which looks like it should be right there. Yeah, let's see if it makes that out too. Well, let's see if it fits. I guess it's not good doing backward cuts, but, you know, yeah, whatever. All right, take it inside and see if we did any good here. All right, let's see what colors we got. That'll work here. Orange might be a little light. Oh, a little bit of red there. Okay. And we got some brown here too. Oh, that's better. That's better than the white. I use my favorite gloves for nice stuff like that. Alright, I'm gonna live with that. Yeah, I'm gonna live with that. If it fits, great. If it doesn't fit, gotta do it over anyway. Except next time I'll do it cutting from the back side. Okay, let's find out. Okay, got a good view there. Let's see. Okay, it went in nicely. The only thing is, it's a bit too much off. So, as you can see, maybe you can't. Okay, so we're going to do this one. I think you get the trick of it. But I've already chop sawed my length. And then I took off, let's get you back where you can see what's going on here. There we go. This piece was in here. And so to get the length, I used the chop saw. Then I took this piece out to line this up. And I had a pencil, which now disappeared. So basically, I don't know where my pencil is. Oh, yes I do. It's over here. We have some drywall corner here. So lining that up, I've already done that, but I've marked this off where I know where I want that to be. This, we're going to have to use it on the table saw. So this will come in under here, and I got a long way to cut this way. Put this on here, and now, is that straight? Yeah. So basically, I'm going to need to cut this all the way down to here on my table saw. And then it should slide right into place. Once this is in place, then I'll slide this into the two of them. Great, made that turn, and come on and do the next cut. And that's about as easy as it gets till I get to this back wall, which might only be that thick based on my measurements. And there'll be a lot of table saw cutting, but I'll show you how to do that because a lot of times these walls curve in and out. So if you put a compass along the wall and draw it on your board, you can see the wave of the line so you know exactly how to cut on your, hopefully I won't have to do that, but chances are we will. We'll find out real soon. Okay, back then. Yep, not surprised. What I was talking about for this wall, I've experienced here. So things are off, nothing's square really. You see the gap, you can see the blue coming through to where it starts out, you know, small and then gets wider. I'm going to recut that because, I don't know, you know, the trim will probably, let's get to it. The trim will probably come right up to, it would be nice if I knew how to do this camera. The trim will probably come right up to the line, but might as well do it while I got a chance to do it. So overall, everything else is looking okay. So what I did, I redid the chop saw, and now I'm going to show you how to do these cuts. You just do it freehand on a table saw. So we'll do that next. Okay, so here's the table saw. I took the guard off, and basically I'm just going to follow this line Yeah. And cut it on through. Okay, turn down your volume. Here comes some noise. I can't use the guard if I want to watch this, so got my safety glasses on. Oh, good morning, and welcome to Opinions from Mary. This part is the part that everyone needs to know when they're doing a floor. It's a trick, and thank you, Daniel, for showing it to me years ago, because it's pretty easy, but if you don't know how to do it, you probably don't want to attempt your floors. Anyway, they won't come out that well. What it is when you're either starting a project, a lot of times the walls aren't uniform. And so when you're finishing a project, you have the same thing. Like I could tell by looking at it, it's not off that much. But here, we're about 2.5 inches. Down here, we're 2 and almost 3/4 inches. So the wall is doing one of those. Anyway, here's the trick. When you're first starting out, just lay your boards up against the wall. I call it a protractor, but according to the description, it says it is a locking wing divider. And very simply, it takes the pencil, you put it inside, and all we're going to do is follow the contour. And this is for starting, the contour of the wall. On your along the way, so 2.5. Down there it looks like 3. I can cheat by putting this in the location that I want it to be, in the position that it's going to go. And this is an easy way to do it too. You're going to have a real clean cut, but not as clean as using the protractor and following along. So we're coming out the actual width of what we need to take off. And then that's what we're going to cut. So based on where the pencil's laying, for my cut for this wall, that's all we need, is that small amount. So I'm just going to put the boards in place. Now I do have room underneath here. Okay, so I'm just going to line them up where they need to go. As they're supposed to be. And then I am going to do this wrong. Oh no, I did it correctly. Okay. Don't want to go too far into the wall because then I'll end up taking off more than I need. So we want this lined up nicely. Okay, and that is right where I'd be happy with it if it ended up. Alright, good. And I'm just going to follow this out. And as you can see, this line here is what I'm going to be following. Now, as a double check, I'm just going to lay this up against the wall to see where my line is. And my line is perfect with what it's looking like. So, there you have it. that simple. Just tracing it out and like I said, have it up to where you need it. When you look at it, now this is on the final. On the beginning, you don't have to go through this. But on the final, how much of a gap are we transversing? So you see this? From what's installed there to where my pencil is laying, it's only that much. And then just follow it along your whole area, and now you have your line that you can cut with, so that when you put it into place, it should lock in pretty nicely. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. And I hope this helped, because it helped me a whole heck of a lot. And I am very happy to now be almost done with this room. Bye. Have a great day. And I hope all your dreams manifest quickly. And God bless you all. Bye. Hi. I think I should give you a little tip on this saw cutting the angles back and forth. Over here we have my guide. And when the board runs straight through, if it's a straight cut, no big deal, okay? But as you can see, this thing's got some real waves to it. So it's forcing the blade, it's putting a lot of pressure on the blade, as you could see that. See the darkness? So what I recommend is cut a little bit and then cut off so that you're doing a section at a time. And another thing, I like using the guard because my gosh, is this making a mess. So I have found this to go over my head to help with all the dust blowing. Anyway, so for what it's worth, yeah, cutting the piece into that wall is not a straight cut. See that curve? And as a result, the saw is made to cut straight. So doing a little, cutting it off, doing a little bit more, cutting it off seems to be the best way, the safest way, and we're going to get it done. So hopefully that helps. Great. Bye. Good morning and welcome again to Opinions from Mary. Okay, we're down to being able to put the crown back. And I'm saving the old crown. And we covered this a little bit earlier, but on the back of all my crown, I labeled it. So I know where it's like, that's closet, north side, and this is the east side. Okay, so that's just going to help me put it back. Now, another thing that I'm noticing, right over here, I'm missing pieces, but it's from that bad plumber, so hopefully I have enough. It's just me doing this. So what I find to be helpful is these brad nails, which are pretty long, and yep, even mark these little guys, okay? Not able to go in easily. I'm just taking my tin snips and snipping. So, get you over by the garbage. Yeah. All right. And I make them just long enough to grab into the drywall. I'm going to come back in with my gun, but I don't need a lot. See? Not much. Just enough to hold. It's that extra hand. Additionally, I'll be pulling off all the extra pieces because for painting, we don't want that. And if I can reuse them, great. That's why I'm putting stuff in a container. Additionally, here's the paint that I'm going to be using, but I want it well mixed. So what I do the day before is I turn it upside down so that all the solids drop down. And today it's been sitting on the side and then shake it. So basically when I open that can up, I'm good to go. Anyway, just a little trick there. Label, if you're going to reuse, label your pieces so you know where they came from. And I have this problem here with this guy. See how he's split? So I'll just take some wood glue and put them back together, and when I paint, it should be good. And go from there. But looks pretty doggone ugly. Of course, when you have a room that's been jackhammered and you have sewer stuff all over the place, yeah, can't expect it to look too good. But it'll look great when we're done. So hopefully those tips. Mark the back. If you're doing it by yourself, cut the brads to where it's just enough to hold on to the wall, and clean it up and try to reuse it. Okay, and shake your paint by letting all the solids fall so that you don't have as much time to where you have to mix it up. Okay? All right. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye. Good morning and welcome to Opinions from Mary. In this pearl, we'll be doing my baseboard for the room. And it turns out it's not working as well as I wanted. Let me show. Along this wall, we seem to be sticking in pretty nicely. The little dots are where the studs are, and I'll show you why. But along this wall, we got quite a gap here. And if we follow it out, even when we sit up, I mean, look at the gap in here. So you can see the bow. My little trick, which works so well for this piece of molding casing around the door with the little nubs, is not working on the floor with this bowed. So what I'm going to need to do is all these little nibs that should be holding, like right here's one. There we go. Like right here's one. Okay, right there. Okay, I'm just going to take them off so I have a fresh start, a clean finish. But because of how warped this is, you can't really see it. You can see like a gap there. It's supposed to be laying flat, but it's not. Okay, up and down. I really need to take advantage of the baseboard. So what I'm doing is quite simply taking a stud gun and looking for where the studs are. Now, I had a good gun that you can adjust. This one is not that one. Bit of frustration. And I just have some old stickers so I know where they're at. I found another one of these cheapo guys. I can't find my good stud gun. Must have put them in a special spot. But anyway, or some stud stole my gun. Okay, let's see. Oh, see? Nope, not good there. Okay, so here we found a stud. Should we work? There we go. Well, I guess I got no studs in this wall. Well, here, let me show you the trick I did here. Put an effort back and forth. So when I came to the stud, and now it's not cooperating, the light turned red, and I just came straight down and then put a sticker. Anyway, that's what we'll be doing. Another thing is, I noticed I'm missing some pieces. This is from the bad plumbing job. The piece here is just gone, so I'll cut that and go from there. Okay, so when we come back, we'll be shooting studs into the wall and securing this baseboard. Hi, welcome back to Opinions from Mary. Okay, we are ready to start shooting in the brads. And we have my air compressor here. Now, when we shoot brads, a couple of things to keep in mind. The pressure of your air compressor is important. If you don't have enough pressure, those brads won't go in. This machine right here goes up to 200 PSI, which is really strong. For me, 80 PSI is ideal, so we set our controls This has been set a long, long time ago. So read the owner's manual for how to set your specific control. Anyway, I have an air compressor, a small one that I use around the house. It's ideal for blowing out dust under my refrigerator, what have you. That is a small one. It only goes up to 40 psi. That is not strong enough to shoot these brads in. Now, let me show you the options that we have here for brads. There's all kinds of sizes. This one here says it's an inch. I think you can see that. This one's probably half an inch. Anyway, this looks like it's about maybe 2 inches. Okay, for me, I want to have enough to, here's my brad gun. So I think this size right here, it looks like it's 1.5 inches. The drywall is about 1/2 inch. The crown, not the crown only, the baseboards, I don't know, maybe 1/2 inch of this thickest part. So this to me looks like it's 1.5 inches, which, right, okay, so the crown go out to about there, drywall to about there. So we got a good 1/2 inch to fit in. All you do is just slide these in, and even little pieces, they'll line right up as you put it in correctly. Okay, so looks like it's moving good there. And that's the size that I pulled out of these boxes to be able to shoot this in. Oh, that's a little smaller. That's still okay, but I'm going to throw it back in the pile. Stay with the same size. Okay, so you see this one? I'm not lined in right. So what we want to do is we want to get down on the bottom track, and so that it rolls back and forth. This one looks like it might go better this way. Yeah, so feeling the tops here. Okay, I think that's it. And then that just shoves in. Okay, so this is the air hose. Just going to hook it up to here. Okay, it's in. And I'm going to turn the machine on. It's going to come up to 80. And quite simply, I've marked out, you can see this here. I have marked out throughout the whole place where I found my studs. Oh, I changed 3 batteries. They took 9-volt batteries. So 2 of them just weren't working, even though supposedly they're new out of the package. And 1 seemed to work even better. So if your stud gun isn't operating as you would like, I guess keep trying batteries until you find the strongest one possible. Anyway, that's what worked for me. But I do have my little markings here, as you can see, all along for where my stud gun found wood. That one fell off. That went over there. But there's another one that fell off. Oh, also another thing. Easy trick. This window, okay? So down on the bottom you see there's a tank. Well, yes, there's going to be wood surrounding this. And also wherever there's electrical outlets, you will always find wood on one side of where your electrical outlet is. So hopefully that's a little tip. Okay, we are going to shoot these in. We're ready to go. I think it'll come out really good. And I hope those few little tips helped you a little bit. Okay, God bless. Have a great day. See you later. Bye. This is the final version.